brunchin', a good brunchin', a good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. 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 Everybody, Good Brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. Everybody, Good Brunchin'. You are tuned into the Good Brunchin Podcast. Good Brunchin'.
Yo, what up, people? Welcome to the Good Brunching Podcast. It is your favorite host. It's your man Ace Brown, along with Tamika, and of course, if you guys are on, make sure you guys, if you want to chime in and look on, you can go to our Facebook, go to our YouTube on Good Brunch Podcast on YouTube. Tamika is live on Instagram. I don't know what's going on with my IG to show that we are live. My Facebook is up and running, so if you guys are on there, you can see that as well. And of course, we are without our third. He is out trying to be Tiger Woods. I don't. What is he doing, me? Come on, talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That's what he's changing on us.
Yeah,
he said,
let us apologize.
And white balls all day. That's what he's gonna do.
Let us apologize yesterday. And I want to read a message that Bill left for our fans. It says, "Dear Brunching Podcast team and viewers, this is in regards to yesterday. If you missed yesterday, you didn't miss anything because we were not on, and it was Bill's fault. But he apologized. Here it is." "Dear Brunching Podcast team and viewers, I sincerely apologize for being late to our scheduled recording session due to me loving golf more than the show. I understand that my tardiness may have caused inconvenience, and I confused episode 38 with whole 38. I thought that season 2 also meant par 2 and disrupted the flow of our podcast production. I take full responsibility and should keep the same drive that I have for golf for the Good Brunching Podcast. As I put my life away, I have to remember that I am savedish enough to realize that I have a great team. To Tamika, Ace, and the angry producer, I sincerely apologize and will never let this happen again. For I meant by." What are we going to do? Because clearly in that message, he still loves golf more than the show. Come on now. What are we doing here?
Come on, Billy.
You got, I think, here's my thing.
Better.
Say it again.
You got to do better.
You gotta do better. We've been out here scratching and clawing, and just so sad.
It's all right.
Just so sad. I don't understand it. What I'm gonna do, I'll figure it out. But at any rate, we are without him today as well. Bill is just out and about, and he's just doing whatever he wants to do.
Living his best life. That's
right.
Right now, just
out there, just
peace to protect his purpose.
Ooh, say that one more time.
Protecting his peace to protect his purpose.
Come on now, but golf. He got the shirts made. You seen this?
Right. Saved his golf shirts.
He got shirts made. Come on now. I'm gonna go live on here so I can direct everybody to your page, Meek.
Okay. Well, we on Facebook and Instagram under Tamika Royal 9. Facebook, Tamika Essence Anderson, also known as Tuti. Ace is gonna try to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the behind the scenes so people that's chiming in, they can see that we are on. If you would like to see the full show, please go to Tamika's page. You under the Tamika 9?
Tamika Royal 9.
Tamika Royal 9 is TOMIKA Royal ROYAL and _9. Am I right?
Yes, it's Tamika
Okay.
_Royal_9.
Okay, Tamika _Royal_9. I'm sorry. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. That is where you can see the entire Good Brunching show. Or if you want to go to YouTube, you can go ahead and just type in the Good Brunchin Podcast on YouTube and see the show its entirety. I was trying to get it where it can link in, but for some reason, Instagram on my computer is messing me up. But nevertheless, we are here. It is Thursday. How was your yesterday?
It was good.
It was good. It was good. Anything interesting during the day you did once we
just-
realized the show didn't happen?
Regular old day.
Regular old day. Okay. Well, we're going to get into our topic. We don't have an email today, but if you would like to send an email, please do so. All you got to do is go to thegoodbrunchinpodcast@gmail.com. Send in your emails, and we will go ahead and get that out there. And also, if you got any topics that you want us to bring up, send it in thegoodbrunchinpodcast@gmail.com, and we will make sure we address it. But we got a good topic today. The topic is, come on, throw it up there, angry producer. Is the participation award ruining kids? Is the participation award ruining kids? So now a little backstory on this. There was a young lady that went ahead and she complained about her child not getting an award for I guess school, honors, whatever. The child must have been in like kindergarten, first grade, preschool, a young age, but the child didn't get an award. Child did not get an award, and immediately the mom was upset. Mom said, hey, I think that every child should get something. A lot of people in the comments was saying the same, that every kid should walk away with something. So it prompted me to ask the team and our fan base, is the participation award ruining kids? Mika, do you feel as though every kid should get an award when it comes to sports, when it comes to education for honor roll and things like that? Should every kid get an award?
So being like I was a teen mom, I've dealt with giving out awards to kids when it came to football or baseball or anything. And the participation part, we've given, like, if we didn't have MVP, you understand, or the most valuable player, best batter, whatever it was, we gave them their awards for what they accomplished. And we will give, like, we wouldn't give an award, but just for the kids participating and trying their best, we will sit and we wouldn't give them an award, but we'll probably give them like a certificate or something. You understand? But when it comes to school, and plus it's depending on the grade, like if they're in pre-K and kindergarten, even first grade, they're kids, they're little kids. They really don't understand what that is unless they're in like a boarding school or even like these charter schools. They're kids, but I don't think it's like ruining the kids. If you're getting an award just for participating, then that's okay. But I don't think that every kid that's like, parents gotta understand, these kids act a certain way when we're not around, right? They act a certain way when we're not around. We don't know our kids' behavior all the time when they're in school. As a parent, you should know if your kid is participating enough or accomplishing enough for them to receive an honor roll award, or if they're not and they need to do better, right? I'm not going to award a kid for failing, if that makes sense. I'm not going to sit and say, oh, good job, you're failing. If the kid is failing and you're handing them an award, they're going to expect that award even if they're failing. So I don't agree with that part. But a participation award, meaning, you didn't get anything else, but thank you for saying thank you for participating. I don't think that ruins the kids. But now, if you know the kid is failing and you're like, here, I'm gonna give you an award for failing, then that's crazy.
So that's where I think I'm kind of like torn. Everybody, please, like I said, if you would like to have the link, and you are on Tamika's page, go ahead and just type in link. We'll get that over to
Good
you.
Brunchin Dre, Good Brunchin
Get that over to you. We're trying to see why mine is not going good, but at any rate, if you would like to get the link so that way we can go ahead and have you join in, please go ahead and just say would like to see the link, and or just type in link and everything is
I
good.
know the video that you're talking about, right? I seen that video. It was like, yo, she's wilding. She's like, why would y'all invite me if y'all knew that my son wasn't gonna get an award? I heard something like that, right?
Right.
Nobody knows who's going to get an award. If you go to the Oscars, if you go to any of these like award ceremony things, everybody gets an invite, but nobody knows who's getting an award. The only ones that knows who's getting an award is the ones that's planning the whole event, right? So everybody gets an invite. Right. Everybody gets an invite. Even if they know that you didn't get an award, everybody gets an invite. Look at the music awards. Everybody gets an invite, but there's motherfuckers that's in there that wasn't even on the panel.
Right.
You know, like, why would you invite me? Because everybody is invited to an award ceremony, and you just gotta, pray, hey, my son got an award or not. But everybody's invited to that.
Okay, so Jackie says she would like the link on Facebook. Let me see if I can get that over to her. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, for me, I agree with a lot of the stuff that you're saying. I think that even at a younger age, we should go ahead and at least let them know what the real world entails. And like you said, if the child is failing, if the child is, not doing up to par, you go ahead and say, hey, you know what? You're not gonna, we're not doing that. We're not giving you a award. We're not rewarding you for bad behavior or what have you. We're not doing that.
Right.
Jackie, I sent you the link in your message. Go ahead and check that. We're not rewarding you for bad behavior, but I also think that just giving a child an award, even at a younger age, just because doesn't prepare them for the fact that there are levels to each thing. You mentioned the Grammys and the Emmys and things like that on a larger scale. You may not even get nominated, but be in the same category.
Right.
And in school, there are going to be some kids that are honors. There's going to be some kids that are good standing. There's going to be some kids that are average. There's going to be some kids that are below average. And there's going to be some kids that are failing. And one thing that I didn't like about the video was the mind frame that the mom had. Like, you don't know that your child may not get an award.
Right.
I was not the best student. And that doesn't mean that I was failing. But I wasn't like my sisters where they were honor rolls. My kids cry on getting A's and B's. Like my daughter, Janae, she would cry if she got a C. Like ball out crying. Whereas I'm like, the hell is the problem? You best. Like, you know what I mean? But they hold themselves to high regards. But for me, as a parent, I know what my child is capable of doing.
Right.
I know that if it says perfect attendance and I was bringing my kid late to school, they ain't gonna get perfect attendance. They're not.
That's true.
I told Zori that. Zori's like, Daddy, I'll never get perfect attendance. You want to know why? Because some days we gonna be late. I'm just gonna be real with you. It ain't your fault. It's mommy and daddy fault. Some days we gonna be late. If you happen to get it, great. But some days you're not. But I think that allowing these kids, especially when it comes to sports, that everyone gets a participation award, and it looks just like yours who won. I remember growing up, and the participation award was a ribbon.
Right.
Everybody got a ribbon.
We gave certificates. That's what
everybody got a ribbon or certificate. And then Tamika gets the MVP. Tamika gets the now I'm walking away looking like, man, I wish I had a trophy.
Right.
That makes me work harder. I want a trophy like Tamika got. I want a trophy like Bill got. I want a trophy like Kat. I want a trophy like the person who I saw walk away with it that's on the same level as I. But if I walk away with a trophy and you walk away with a trophy and we did two different jobs, how does that motivate me?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said I think
people work hard for the accomplishments that people work hard to be able to get that trophy or award or any type of acknowledgement that they're seeking when they sit and whatever it is that they're doing. They work hard for it, and you can't sit and it sounds crazy, but it's really not. If I'm here and you're here, I worked hard to get here. Don't sit and make, how can I say, because I don't want to sound wrong, but I worked hard to get here, and here this person is just barely working, and y'all trying to sit and put them in the same category as me.
Right.
No, it doesn't work that way. Right. I know in my world it doesn't work that way. I worked too hard to get here.
Right. And on top of that, here's another thing. It doesn't, when it comes to the way that life goes, as far as us, life sits there and you can't apply for the same job and expect that because I applied, I'm going to get it. Because I applied for college, that I'm going to get accepted. And this is why I say they ruining the kids, because of the simple fact that, being honest, if we are giving kids participation awards for everything, or the same awards for everything, there is no, and understand, I'm not saying that if a kid goes through a season that they should not get something. I'm not saying that. Jackie, give us a second. We're gonna bring you on up so you can say that exact comment that you said backstage. Give us a second. The very second, I'm not saying that a kid does not deserve anything. But what I'm saying is, if we give the same kids that are just participating the same awards that those that overachieve, when does that child learn that there are levels in life? At what age? At what age do we tell them?
Yeah, I could see that for pre-K, kindergarten, even first grade, but things start getting real when you got to really start putting in that work, especially when it comes to school. You got to really start putting in them work. Them states exams come. Now you got to take other exams, and then high school comes, SATs and all of that. You know, as much as we all will want an easy ride out, is work that got to be done. It ain't easy out here.
Yep. And Shah said participation awards are cool until you get to high school. And I agree with that. I agree. Like, if we're talking about that, there's still a standard. If there's still a standard to the levels. So if we're doing the ribbon or the certificate of the participation, yes, when you get to from kindergarten or pre-K all the way up to 8th, participation. Now in school is totally different. I think that school, it should be only for those that have completed said course. Meaning, if the kid is not failing, because most of the time, I don't know, when do kids, Mika, you would know better than me, because Johnny's in high school, right? Zori's not there yet. What age do they start getting grades? Is that 4th grade, 5th grade?
The state exams and all of that start 3rd grade.
So, but what grade is it that they start getting the letter grades?
I think it's 2nd grade.
Nah, it can't be 2nd. Zori in 2nd. She's been getting still the satisfactory and stuff.
Oh, I don't know. Nah, my kids get from A's to B's, under, lower.
In 2nd grade?
2nd grade. Remember, in New York, my kids started school in New York. Out here, they still get the A's and the B's, above average, lower average, like that. And that started in the 2nd grade.
Okay, Jackie, just give us a second. Just hang tight. We're gonna bring you on. Just getting the producers sometime.
You know, I think a kid deserves a participation certificate. Like, let's say if this kid was failing, right? That kid was failing, but then the kid put the work in and brought his grades up. That deserves an award. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you're gonna get that. That's hard. I get that. Yeah, I could see that. But if this kid is just there,
right? I get that. I get that. And then even in sports, I get if the kid finished the entire season, giving them some kind of a participation award.
Right.
However, you're going to understand that there is a difference between you being just a participant and my person that is most improved, my person that's most dedicated, my person that's most supportive or best teammate, my MVP. You get what I'm saying? You're going to see a difference, and I have to shine a light on them because they did more than just the person that showed up and sat there and said, "I'm here in practice because I just don't want to go home." You get what I'm saying? I think that it's a big difference for kids that are younger, and Jackie's behind the scenes, you guys. We just having a little technical difficulties to get her on, but she said it doesn't give them values to want more when they are awarded for just getting by. And that's the thing.
Yep.
And when she comes on, I want her to elaborate on that. But that's the thing. These kids are being awarded. Hey, I want you. I'm gonna give you all the praise.
Right.
That Michelle did. But Michelle comes to school, folds her hands. She doesn't disrupt the class. But because you, little Michael, I'm just gonna keep you. I'm gonna give you something because the state says or people say I should give you something because you've been in this class. Meanwhile, you throwing spit bubbles at everybody.
Right.
You sitting here being disruptive. I got to tell you 5, 6, 7 times to stop doing this. I gotta have multiple parent teacher conferences with your parent, not in a good way. And then here comes the parent. Oh, what? Why my child ain't getting nothing? Not my baby. You know this. That's what got me about the video, was that this woman was so and
disrupted everybody else,
bewildered,
all the other kids all scared and stuff like that because you was in your feelings. And again, like I said, she said, you guys invited me to this and my son wasn't even gonna get an award. All awards, everybody is invited. Everybody is invited.
And you don't have to come to them.
And you don't have to come to it.
You don't have to go to it. There was a time this year that neither myself nor T was able to make the award. Now, thank God, Zori is real good friends with another girl that's in her grade. They're not in the same class this year, and that really tore the two of them apart. Right. Meaning like balled up, but they're great friends. Right. Mom is real cool with T, or they're cool with T. She's been to the house for cookouts and everything like that. Whenever we're not there, it's an unpacked rule. Like we never sat down and said, hey, we're going to do this. But when we couldn't make it, Mom sent T pictures. Got the girls together, took pictures. So she still felt supported.
Right.
Zori still felt supported. It wasn't like she came, oh my God, no one, you wasn't there. Yesterday, flipped it. It was in the class. T went ahead and was in there and then still went ahead to check to see if the mother was there.
Right.
Saw that the mom was there. Let's get the girls together, take a real quick picture to show them their growing up process. Right. So you don't have to go. I didn't go yesterday. And I told Zori, she said, Daddy, you going? No, Daddy's not going. You want to know why Daddy's not going? Because I know you're good at what you've been doing. And I've been patting you on your back all year long. So now, do we feel this way?
Right.
Jackie, turn your camera on. Jackie, are you able to turn your camera on? There you go. Jackie, welcome to the brunch show. Welcome to the brunch show. Now, you were saying it doesn't give them first time coming on the brunch show. So welcome to the brunch show. We do it Monday through Friday. I know you always tune in on Facebook, but you said it doesn't give them values to want more when they are awarded to just get by. Go ahead and explain.
Wait, before anything, can you turn your camera sideways?
Turn your camera sideways so you can fill that box up. Boom, there you go. Now you can back it up a little bit and it's going to be right there. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm at work. So if I have to, if you hear a ring, that means I got to get up and go, but I'm at work. But when you reward kids for just barely getting by, they're just going to think that's all that I need to get by. And it's not instilling better values in them. Okay, yeah, you got this. Like, for instance, my Yaya big boy is in kindergarten. So I feel everything that you guys are saying. And he got benchmarked. And then at the end of the year, he grew significantly. So we praised him for that. When you give your kids praise for what they're doing when they're doing it, they already expect the praise. They already, okay, if I do this, I get praise. I get rewarded for this.
Right.
But when they don't and you're still giving them rewards and stuff, it's like, I don't got to do nothing because I'm going to still get rewarded anyway, whether I do it or not. And that's just like in anything. And I'm not sure your name, so I apologize. But like you were saying, what is it?
Tamika.
Tamika. Nice to meet you, Tamika.
Jackie.
But like you were saying, everyone works hard to get some type of trophy, whether it's the NFL, whether it's the Major League Baseball, whether it's NBA, you know what I mean? Like and then you have the award shows because you have to support those that did what they were supposed to do. Now, if you did what you were supposed to do, you'll be in that crowd too. But yeah, we gotta do better. And then it also has to do with that no child left behind for the schools. That's what's messing these kids up. No child left behind. They can get all F's, but they still pass them because they don't want to leave them behind. That's the issue right there in itself.
Yes. And it's crazy you bring that up because I didn't even merge the two together, and you're absolutely right. The no child left behind was because of the maturity of the kids coming up. But my thing is, like you said, I'm not talking about 1 year. I'm not talking about the 1 year, and this is for those that don't know. The child that get left by that was staying back for 1 year was not the problem. It was the one that was doing it 2 and 3 and 4 years. Now you are 14, equating them with a 9-year-old. Now I'm in 9-year-old classes. Now I'm not going to be anything but disruptive because I'm in here with a bunch of 9-year-olds. So their thing was, hey, we don't want to do that. The 2 and 3s and no. But let's go back to keeping them back a year. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to summer school, because summer school was something that was, like you said, Jackie, and like you said, Mika, it was something we strive for because we didn't want to go to summer school. We didn't want to go to summer school. You telling me I get out and I got to go right back in? Oh, no, I'm getting these grades together. I'm not coming in here during the summer. I'm going to watch everybody ride the bikes going by, and I'm going to sit in this classroom? No.
Right. I feel when it comes to that, outside of like the NBA and like music and all of that, let's focus on school. You have kids that's going into school, growing up to be doctors, kids that's growing up to go to school to be something that's going to be of value to our world, right? We have to sit and honor those that sit and make it. Oh, I think I froze.
No, you good.
You guys hear me?
Oh, you did froze.
I froze, right? Let me go. We have to sit and honor those kids that from a young age made a choice to make a difference in our world, and to sit and have these kids do all this hard work, and then they see a kid that barely did anything throughout the year sit and be honored just as them. That I feel that's wrong.
Right.
I really do feel that's wrong. Let me come into my phone because my laptop froze.
Right. And as she dropped that,
it'll make the kid that did the work to get honored and to get the reward to have that feeling. Well, what was the point and what was the purpose? If I do less than, I'm still going to get rewarded, and I did high,
Right. Oh,
so
yeah.
what was the point?
Like you said, and even you brought up for your babies. Okay, you got benchmarked here. Now we seen you do this. We're gonna reward you for getting better. But if you stayed at that benchmark, we're not rewarding you. For what?
We got work to do. We have work to do. And when I tell you, she told me he got up to the highest. I said, well, can we get 1,000? Like, I push him to do more. Okay, great. You did that. Now
Let's go
let's
higher.
do more.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Yeah.
what? It's because and that's why I posed the question, is it ruining the kids? Because we're talking about individual households, what you do in your
Mm-hmm.
house, what I do in my house, what Mika do in her house. And a lot of people even in the chats are saying, like, yeah, it's the can't, but the system doesn't care about that.
Right.
The system says, hey, we need to push them along. Hey, we need to go ahead, and if this child is here and they're benchmarked, and then all of a sudden they get a higher award. Oh, okay, no problem. You still ain't higher than the one that was higher before. But wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let me even compare the person that was above. Well, Mary was at a 85 benchmark, and then Mary only went up to an 86. But here it is, Tommy was at a benchmark of 42 and brought it up to a 75. Tommy should be getting more praise than Mary.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree
Tommy
with
should be
that.
getting more praise than
Because
Mary.
he was that's what I said. He was failing. And
Right,
he did that work to get it up to 75. It may not have been where Mary was, but
right,
that hard work that he put, because he noticed I was failing. I need to do something about that. And he did
right.
that work. That should be wait, because Mary's always been passing.
Mary's
And
always been
more power to
passing.
Mary, not trying to take, the credit away from her. Mama,
Right,
you've been doing it for so long. But we witnessed a child that was going, we didn't think that they was going to get nowhere, put in that work, have that faith in himself or herself, and put in that work to get to a 75. You have to honor that. Why? Because there's, God knows, one, what that kid was going through or going through in their household. Mary could have both parents. Mary could have no worries at all. But here it is, the other child. He's going to probably a single parent household, hard times, struggling, probably going through, seeing things that he don't. That's why they're failing. And they said, let me push to get by because I want to get out of this. There's so many situations, but that child should get honored for the hard work to get through, no matter what they were going through. Give that kid the credit more than what Mary. And I'm not saying more. I don't want to say more, but show a little more. How you call it?
More is right. More is right.
Right,
no, but it
right.
is,
For him,
it's
for doing the
right,
hard
because
work.
and it's being sectioned off. Now, Cash says, so who is to blame, the school or the parent, for not getting the kid the necessary help? I think that, and we discussed this early. We discussed this in season 1, when we had another question, and I think it's a mixture of the two. But it's about how the kid responds or how the family responds. In this
Mhm.
situation, I think that the system or the school is more the problem because they won't respond. They will offer,
Mhm.
but they're not going to respond. They will sit there and say to a Tamika, who is a mother, hey, your kid should get tutoring.
Mhm.
Should get tutoring. But if Tamika says, well, I
Mhm.
don't want to get my kid tutoring, they're not going to say anything. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm still going to move your child forward.
Right.
At the end of the
Right.
day, I'm still going to go ahead and say your child is going to move ahead because remember, there's no child left behind.
And as a parent, if you know that your child is not ready and that's what's wrong with these parents today, you need to step up and say, no, I don't think my child is ready to, in all honesty, ready to move up. I had one and I
Mhm.
kept him back. Yes, I did. Oh, no, he
Mhm.
ain't ready.
And
Mhm.
see, I think a lot of things is, or one of the things, I'm not gonna say a lot. One of the things is that parent being confident within themselves to not say, well, there's something wrong with me, saying, no, 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 no. I want my child to get the most out of each year.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
okay. Now, I don't feel bad for myself. I don't sit there and say, hey, you know what? Something is happening. No, no, no. I say to myself, it's okay. I don't mind.
Mhm.
I don't mind people asking me why. I don't mind people sitting there saying to me, Jackie, you a fool. I don't mind people sitting there saying, why would you leave that baby behind? That baby
Mhm.
gonna be with younger kids, and now they not gonna be on the maturity level. Okay.
Let me tell you, my 16-year-old, he's had an IEP since he was in first grade, right? He had um He was doing occupational therapy because he struggled to hold the pencil and stuff like that in the beginning of his school years, right? As it went on, because his writing was off, they was like, you know your son don't have to take these tests and all that stuff. Don't worry, we're still gonna pass. I said, no. My son, just because he has a little thing, he just has struggling holding a pen, does not take him out of the regular world, right?
Right.
I said, y'all not gonna sit and have my son thinking he's doing okay when he's not, and when he's in the real world, they looking at him like he's crazy, like how the fuck you got this high school diploma or how you got this when
Mm,
you don't even know half of the stuff you need to know. I
right.
said, no, don't take him out of the exams. What you guys can do is get you guys have people that are there while he's taking the
Jackie,
exam,
we just
and they
dropped you behind. When you're ready, we'll bring you back up. Go ahead. I'm listening.
right. They're there. And when he's taking these exams, whatever he's saying, they have to type it up for him. That's meaning if he says he has to say a sentence, he has to let them know, add a period there, add an exclamation there, do that there, because he has a struggle with writing. It's not a disability. He's not catching up to where the other kids are. Now my son is 16, 17 now. Guess what? He writes music.
Mm,
Look at
We're
God.
not gonna we're not gonna sit and put him to feel like he can't match as the other kids when he can, just a one little thing. Y'all not gonna sit and pass my son because I feel they doing that because y'all feel bad. Yes, I do feel bad for these kids that are failing, but as a job of the principal and the teacher and the community, let me say, you guys should sit and come in and help that kid. If you sit and you tell me that my kid needs tutoring, and I want to shout out to my kids' elementary school, PS 157. All my kids graduated from that school in elementary school. Whatever help I needed, if I couldn't get it, trust and believe that principal was calling me. Tamika, we got this for Nene. Tamika, we got this for this one. We got this for that one. We're gonna put them in. That's how the school system should be. But what's
right.
happening now is budgets. They taking away all the money, especially from our public schools. So what's happening? These teachers will love some. I'm not saying all, because there are teachers out here that's just there for that check, and I see it all the time.
Right.
But there are some teachers that sit there, and I've witnessed them cry, and especially in the school where they're like, we have no programs for our kids that don't got it like the other kids. There's
Right.
no, if we sit and we recommending tutoring for these kids, but tutoring is expensive, and here we don't have after school programs anymore for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you have to pay for, because especially with the public school. So now they want to do this. Everyone, how is it? What is it? Everyone passes or whatever.
Yeah. Well, no
No,
access, no child.
nobody's left
Yeah, no
behind,
child left behind.
because y'all taking the money away.
Yeah.
Y'all taking all
We.
the money away. So
Well,
like,
that's
fuck
the
it, let's
thing.
pass everybody.
That's the
We still
thing.
gonna.
That's why there's no summer school. Because
That's why
guess
there's no
what?
summer school.
If there's
Because the
no
teachers
child
don't want
left
to work the
behind,
summer if they're not getting paid for it.
what's the point? What's the point? Now, Jackie, I want to ask you a question, because you brought up that you made the choice to leave. Hey, my son gonna stay back.
Mhm.
Um, how would you tell a parent if they were thinking about that now, but they were in fear of the backlash that they may get from their family and friends? What would you tell them?
I already know.
Oh my God!
What's best for your child is what's best for your child at the end of the day. Some
Mhm.
parents need to realize your child may not be mature enough to pass on to that next grade. So what if people got backlash? Are they raising your kids? Are they doing what they need to do? Are they helping your kid? Listen, you're doing the best for your child
That's
at
it.
the end of the day. Like my son, the one that stayed back in kindergarten, he also stayed back when he first moved down here from Pennsylvania. Talking about, I ain't graduating. Yes, you are. And you're going to repeat this grade again. That was when COVID came into play.
Mhm.
And a lot of our kids
Mhm.
didn't do well with COVID and didn't do well with this right here, virtual learnings. Some kids need to be in the
They need
school
hands
and
on.
need to
Hands
hands
on.
on and see that teacher and do that work. Not only that, It takes them out of whatever situation that they're going through at home, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It gives them a break from their normal. But yeah, to leave a child, so what if somebody has something to say about, oh, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that. And this is my child and I'm raising him how I want to raise them, period. If you got something to say, then help.
See, and you know, it's crazy you say that, because during COVID, that warranted, or I'm not gonna say warranted, it gave a springboard for this participation award, because now I'm not there as the teacher to make sure you're actually doing what you're doing. You could be Googling these answers. You can be, you know what I mean? It could be a lot of stuff where the kid is like, look, I could just pass by this. And then you tack that on to the No Child Left Behind. Everybody get an award. Everybody get an award. But then now, the one thing that hasn't changed is when you become an adult, life. In life, we don't get participation awards. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. Don't nobody
imagine getting your high school diploma and you failed math the whole years you was in motherfucking high school, and now you get a job and you got to use math.
Right.
And not know what you're doing.
And not know what the hell a pie is.
Listen, I see it all the time, and you guys see it all the time. You want to see if this schooling system is messing up, go to your local fast food and go ahead, and when they say, yeah, your meal is $17.57, give them a 20 and say, hold up, I got 57 cents. Watch how they get upset. I had a boy hand me the change back and said, no, I already put it in. I said, huh? He was like, no, you gave me too much. I said, no, I gave you $20.57. He was like, yeah, but that's too much. It's $20 to take care of it. What?
I don't want change back. That's why I'm giving you the change.
It can't register, because guess what? And I could tell he was like 16 or whatever, 17. You are in school where they're just pushing you by.
That's like just like if you have something that is 11 cents or no, 5 cents, and you give them a little bit extra just so that you don't have to have all the pennies behind. Like, come on now. Like,
it throws them off.
Because
you don't work, you don't eat.
These kids fall so dependent too, especially now, right? The way the age that we're in, they're falling too dependent on technology. Right. Too dependent on technology. Kids don't even pick up a dictionary anymore. Kids don't even read anymore. What they're doing is audiobooks and Google. So it's like, why do I need to take a test if all I got AI?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Why do I need to do anything if I have AI? And I feel with the whole No Kid Left Behind, you're not allowing these kids to catch up. You're not allowing these kids to catch up. If you're just letting them pass and just pass, and they're not gaining anything, you're failing them.
Well, now with AI and stuff like that, we're enabling them. And like Cash said, he's the reason why Wendy's has a cashier-less kiosk now. A lot of people are going to the cashier-less because their thing is, I don't want to deal with it. Let this machine deal with it. A lot of these
don't like that. Like, I want the personal. I go there to order. I don't be wanting to deal with nobody's screen and machine and all of that. No, let me tell you.
How many times I've gone to these like McDonald's or I've gone to Wendy's or anything, and I use the machine to place my order, and they place everything, and they took more money than it was supposed to. Or they're just is freezing, or there's times that you slide the card and
it don't work.
It don't work. It's so much stuff that has to happen. Like, can I just let me just go to the goddamn cashier? That's it. The money is still here. The paper form is still here.
That's even with all the grocery stores too. You got Walmart, Food Lion, next Carly Seeds is going to have a self-checkout. Like,
everybody see. So here's the thing about it. They're trying to they consider themselves removing the pain for another person. However, it takes away from a job. But then when you add in what we're saying, participation award to No Child Left Behind. These kids feel entitled. Well, wait a minute. I've been doing this so long. I've been doing this, and everybody's been giving me the award for doing it. Now that I'm grown, I'm over 18. I done graduated high school, and I go to mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, and I say, "Yo, you mean to tell me I gotta apply for this?" Yes. You mean to tell me I can't? It's a possibility I can't get it. Yes. Then they look at us and say, "Well, that's not fair." Yes, it is.
It is fair.
It is fair.
You grown now. You got to put in the work for yourself.
Now,
That's
If you
one thing I
want
tell kids.
Jordans,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you want Jordans, or if you whatever the latest fad is that you want, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not buying it. My kids are 26, 22, and 21. 2 of them are at home, but y'all gonna have to fend for yourself. Whatever y'all need, y'all gonna have to provide for. I'm not doing it. I got the bills, and y'all gotta help pay the bills too. We all live here. We all take a responsibility, and that's what it is. Some of these kids feel as though they don't have no responsibilities, even if they have kids. And that's another topic.
One thing I have 5 kids, and like I said, my oldest is 21, my youngest is 10. Once y'all give me attitude and y'all roll your eyes, y'all got chores. Y'all got stuff to do. Once I find out you're doing grown folk stuff, guess what? You got to help out here. You got to start doing stuff. That's life. You understand what I'm saying? It's like these kids are not going to stay kids. My kids knew how to cook by the time they were 9. Okay, all of them except Madison. She's the baby. There's a little delay. But they all know how to cook. They all know what it is to do. I was telling my husband this yesterday. I said, one thing you can't complain is that all your kids that we have, by the time they were in pre-K, they knew how to write their name. They knew their multiplication. They knew their addition. They knew their address. They knew our phone number. By the time they were in pre-K, because that's when once they're 4, that's when the memory starts kicking in. That's when they start memorizing stuff. You got to start putting in, the parents has to start putting it in them from small, because then when they go into the outside world, we're their conscience. You understand what I'm saying? We're the ones that they got to hear, and whenever something's going on, they thinking of mommy and daddy, because that's who they're with all the time. So I say that to say, I don't encourage my kids for failure. I encourage my kids to get by in life. Get by. There's certain things in school that you need to learn. You need to know science. You need to know math. Social studies, learn what they teach you, but understand that social studies is different for what I'm teaching you here. You need to learn that for you to pass, to get this. But don't think that everything that's there is true. You're just learning it to take a test. That's what I tell my kids all the time. But if my kids are failing, I know my kids. I know my kids. I don't go in that school saying, not my son. I'll be like, what he did, what she did. If it's all, I know my like my oldest daughter, she got a mouth on her. A whole mouth on her. I'm not doing nothing. I didn't say nothing. I go into the school. Everything that they're telling me, I'm like, Diamond, but everything they're saying is what the fuck you do in the house.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit here and say, she's not doing that.
It looks the same to me.
It looks the same to me. So now you need to take accountability of your actions. There's parents out there, like you were saying, you want a pair of Jordans? My kids like that shit. $300 pair of jeans. A $200 fucking t-shirt that's $25 that you can find in the store. Oh, you want me to sit and do that? Let me see your report card.
Yep.
Not only school, because I tell them all the time, you're doing good in school, but what about here? What about the house? Yeah, you're doing good in school, but look at your nasty ass room.
And you know what? Let me tell you, not to cut you off, but I want to I want to throw in there what you just said develops the work-life balance. That develops that. Okay, yeah, you're doing good in school, but like you said, what you're doing here, because when you get older, you can go to work every day, but your house still look like trash.
Exactly.
Your relationship still like trash.
Your
finances still look like trash. Yeah, you going to work, but you can't balance life. Supervillain said my 21-year-old wanted me to pay for her hotel in Miami. I'm like, you got a job? He said, I always wanted to say that. I told her, I got some pocket money for you though. And that's the thing, that a lot of the kids, like you said, Jackie, you're grown now. A lot of the kids go from participation award to now you're grown.
Mm-hmm.
They don't never
And
get
have a
that
sense.
in the middle. They don't get that in the middle because in school where they spend most of their time, it's not, you know what I mean? If you think about it, a kid spends anywhere between 6 to 7.5 hours a day for 5 days a week.
Kids are with teachers more than their
They're
parents.
with teachers more than their parents because you're in school 10 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You're in school 10 months out of the year. There's only 2 months that you with your family majority. And depending on what it is, you may be at work,
Right.
you may be in a summer camp or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you with them all the time. Now we enforcing it. We're not talking about the parent that don't enforce.
Right.
We're enforcing it. We're doing everything at home, keeping you out of trouble, making sure you do chores. But in school, you get awarded for every little thing you do.
And then get
At
thrown to the
home,
wolves. And what baffles me is that then y'all throw them to the
yep.
wolves.
At home, we
That shit is
penalizing you.
crazy.
But now check this out, y'all. At home, we penalizing you as a parent, saying you ain't clean your room, you not getting this. You ain't doing this, you not getting this. So you know what they go to school and it talks amongst their little group. Your moms ain't shit. Your dad ain't shit. Your grandmas ain't shit. Your aunt ain't shit. Everybody is the bad ones because we not handing it to them where the school says we will give you everything you want because we not here to keep you. In 4 years, you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden, like you said, they graduate high school, you push them out to the wolves. And then when they go back and visit that teacher, you know what the teacher say? See, I was trying to tell you that. Yeah, you may have been, but the system has been telling them otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now they have a sense of
And
entitlement.
now you
Right.
have the sense of entitlement causes the ego to be too high, the pride to be too high, thinking I deserve this, this is what I deserve when you really don't, and it causes more mental health stuff, and that's the anger. You get psychopath people now because they feel so entitled.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nigga,
lazy.
no. It don't go
Yep.
that way. I'm sorry.
And it's all the way down to, it's even all the way down to, like you said, using AI and Google, the things we cherish. And I'm not saying that I understand this is a new day, but I always try to tell my oldest that use it as a tool, not as a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
Google should be a tool, just like the encyclopedia was for us, just like the dictionary was.
Right.
AI should be a tool that you use. YouTube should be a tool. You want to learn how to do something? YouTube it. But use it as a tool. Don't use it as
Don't fall dependent on it.
Right. Don't fall so dependent on it where now you like, well, every single time I'm going to need this same YouTube video because I don't want to put it in my brain. No, learn how to do it.
I tell my kids this all the time. Go outside. Go explore. Go do things. If you want to learn something, read on it. Keep it here. Because what you're going to do if, God forbid, there's like an EMP and all technology is down. Everything is down. From the phones to the computers to your car. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. Because you fall so dependent on the car that drives by itself. Y'all fall so dependent on being able to get access to something in 3.2 seconds instead of taking the time to sit and actually learn it. Learn the process. Learn what it is that you're trying to get to so you can be better at it. Because when you fall dependent on this is technology. Right now, your phone could fall in the toilet and will not work. And you know damn well you don't got $1,300 to get another one right now.
Right.
Your dumb ass, excuse me, your ass now is stuck. You don't know what to do because you fall dependent onto this stuff. I tell everybody, learn how to take advantage of this, but don't fall dependent on it because you're gonna be stuck.
And
the
on top of
generations
that,
after you is gonna be stuck.
but
too.
not only that, and on top of that, if you haven't, and of course we're talking about us being in our statures of where we are, but if you ain't learning now, who you think gonna teach your kids?
Yo, I
That's
saw
the one thing
I saw a video. He said, if they say it takes a village to raise a child, but what if the village is retarded?
Yes. No, because
Then
think
you
about
got a
it.
retarded child.
Right. But think about this. Think about this. Let's be real. Jackie already said she has grandbabies, right? Now,
Yaya boys.
I'm sorry, yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys.
So let's say, for example, those babies grow up, but they're learning the way that they're learning today. They're not failing, but they're learning with AI, Google, all this stuff. So that it's not being retained in their brain. All of a sudden, they have children. They're like, yeah, you going to teach my baby too? No. I'm not teaching your baby too. I done taught you, your mama, your dad. I'm teaching them to. When do y'all learn to be able to reteach your line? If the system and society keeps giving you aided help, and you're using it as enabling, not as a tool. When we sit there and use Google, it's because we just trying to get it real quick. Hey, type this in Google. We use GPS. We use GPS because we're trying to make. Okay, this is the new way. It's very hard to go find a physical map.
That's true.
But understand something.
And it's hard to read.
But listen, I remember going to Canada. I remember going to Canada for my honeymoon, and they didn't because I didn't pay for the international plan. I was worried. I was like, oh my God. And the guy was like, well, we can give you directions to the mall in Toronto. He said, but we would have to map quest it. I said, okay. I took all 16 of them pages and I was going.
Hello.
Do you know kids was shut down? Oh, I'm done. We ain't going nowhere.
Because
we can't go nowhere. We ain't got no GPS.
GPS. Who said? I'm the GPS. Just give me that map quest. Yo, we used to sit with the book like this.
Come on now.
Of papers from MapQuest.
Come on now.
And then I always make sure I have somebody drive. Okay, where I'm going. Okay, so the next stop is this. And MapQuest was the shit. I'm not gonna lie. I love MapQuest.
Yo, MapQuest was good. Steph said, I worked so hard with teaching my daughter from 0 months to 1 until she knew Spanish words. She knew all the alphabets. She could count to 20, no lies. Now her brain is wired. She is smart. Yes. Even when it comes to that, teaching kids like my daughter wanted to learn French. And I told her to download one of those apps. And I said, teach yourself. Teach yourself. She went ahead and now she knows a little bit of French. She also knows a little bit of Mandarin.
My son, my 14-year-old, he loves anime. He's been watching those anime Japanese cartoons since he was 3 years old. He said he was 4. He said some shit in Japanese. I said, what? He said, Ma, this means that. I said, how you learn that? He said, through the animes. I said, you want to learn Japanese? He said, yeah. I take that as the more languages they know, it boosts they use a little more of their brain. That's how I see it. They use a little more of their brain. Right. I started downloading mad stuff. I would sit and get him the anime cartoons that translate, and they would pause it and say, this word is this word. You gotta hear my son. That nigga curse you out in Japanese.
And just like you were saying earlier, Mika, when you was like, by the time your kids was in pre-K, they knew their phone number, address, and things like that. Is because you're speaking it into them. Like my Yaya boys, like they started out knowing Spanish. I didn't keep up with it. I'm gonna be honest. It was me that didn't keep up with it, but when they was going to daycare, they knew their colors in Spanish and in English. They could talk. They know certain phrases, everything. I'm gonna be honest. What I knew, they knew, and they also. I also spoke life into them. Like I have an affirmation for them. Every day in every way, I grow more and more financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. I gotta sing it to say it, but I'm not gonna do that. But I didn't do that with my kids. And I'm going to be honest. I see a complete difference when you start manifesting life into these kids, whether it's scriptural or whether it's, speaking words of affirmation. You have to speak life into them. So that way, when they get a bully, because my son calls them ugly all the time. That's just their love language. But I overheard them say, I'm not ugly, the oldest one, I'm King Handsomeness. The younger one, I'm Prince Handsomeness. Why? Because I've called them that.
Since they've been young. Yep, since they've been young.
Since day one. So if we want our kids to know who they are and what they are, we have to speak it into them. And what's going on now is the little babies are being birthed by babies themselves that aren't ready to be having kids, but they ready to be grown and do grown stuff. And then you have the yayas trying to sometimes pick up the slack, or on the other hand, that's not my kid, I didn't do it, you on your own.
Right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up right here. We definitely got to bring this back up sometime down the line. Jackie, we thank you for tuning in. Give it up for Jackie.
Thank you.
We will see you later.
Thank you, Jackie.
On behalf of the Good Brunching team, Bill, who is not here, who is playing golf, and of course the angry producer, and Mika. Mika, you got anything before we got here?
No, just everybody have a safe day. It's raining in certain areas, so make sure you guys are driving safely. Stay dry. If not, go in the rain. Take in all. Clean yourself. Cleanse yourself in the rain. Pray. Say your affirmations, and then go about your business.
Yep. Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all already know. Same time, same place. We will get this Instagram thing together because we got to get everybody together and give it everybody on it. You already know what it is. The Situational Fridays. We got a whole lot of situations, including something that I'm going to tell y'all tomorrow. All right. Other than that, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be good. Peace.
A good brunchin', a good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunching Podcast. 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 Everybody, good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunching Podcast. It's the Good Brunching Podcast. It's the Good Brunching Podcast. Everybody, good brunchin'. You are tuned into the Good Brunchin Podcast.